Hey guys and girls, so right back in the original destination for where we started these 30 days of Ecom videos, and quite possibly the whiteboards have changed. You'll have to check. Anyway, so I just got off writing some swipe files for an upcoming webinar. Now, in case you're not aware of what a swipe is, why would you be? It's basically a sequence of emails for a particular promotion that you write for the person that you're partnering with for that promotion. Okay, now I just wrote a swipe file where it talks about failure, and it really inspired me to record this video. Now, the reason is, in this swipe file, which actually the email one is actually pretty good, even though I'm saying that myself. I talk about failure, okay? So I'm talking about failure, and I'm talking about how failure is actually a good thing. And maybe a quarter of the way down in the email, I reference Michael Jordan, right? Where he says that actually, I'm going to get the exact quote, right? Bear with me, because I'm gonna get it up on my computer right now to read it to you, right? Here we go. So I've got it on my computer, which is like this side of the camera. Okay, so I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So that's Michael Jordan, right? Okay, so I mean, you know, one of the greatest basketball players in the world of all time. Okay, we'll listen to him, but we're not convinced. Okay, all right, let's move on. Let's give you another quote. All right, Thomas Edison. Yeah, Thomas Edison. Right. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that did not work. Okay, so he's heralded as like America's greatest inventor of all time. You know, I mean, Thomas Edison. I don't need to give him any kind of introduction for you, right? So, so this is what this email swipe was about. It was about failure, right? Now, when you get to talking to enough successful people, okay, and that's what I'm doing with my podcast, that's what we're doing with the mastermind, right? That is literally, I would do this for free. It is the thing that lights me up the most. Just chatting, engaging with interesting people, okay, is something that lights me up, right? I just love speaking with entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs who have had success multiple times. I love deconstructing their decision making. I love deconstructing their morning routines and everything, right? This is something that just lights me up, all right? A few months back, I had a good friend of mine fly over. He lives in Vancouver. He flew over to my humble town of Andover, and we hung out, right? This guy is a Bitcoin millionaire, right? And at one point, he invested $1.5 million into Bitcoin, okay? He just went all in. It was like last September, right? You know, he is well up on his investment. But at some point, he pressed a buy button that was $1.5 million, a $1.5 million purchase. And I was like, dude, right? I know that particular instance took like 1 second of your time to press that button, but break it down. Take an hour, talk me through the decision making on that. Tell me how you were feeling. Tell me how you felt after pressing that button, because your buyer's remorse must have been up there, right? Anyway, I love this, right? This lights me up, okay? And yet there is a pattern. Every time I speak with these interesting entrepreneurs, there is just one common theme that goes through the whole thing, that they are prepared to fail more times than the majority of us are prepared to even try, okay? And that's the principle behind a lot of advertising techniques as well, right? You know, testing, loads and loads of different ad types, different ad creatives, different copies, different placements, different targeting, different network, different products, right? It goes on and on and on. But being prepared to fail more times than the other people are even willing to try is how you win, okay? I write about this in my first book. You are one great ad away from success, right? You can get that book free at book.smarterdestiny.com, I think, right? You can get my first book for free, but it talks about how I was able to just find that one advert which was like the majority of a $1 million revenue season. Okay, it was like $1 million in like a quarter on that particular e-commerce store or something, and it came from one advert. And that's the crazy thing, right? Now, I'm not saying that like literally the first ad I tried was the one that made me $1 million. What I'm saying is you find that $1 million ad and boom, you're on to a winner. And it doesn't matter how many times you failed. You could have failed hundreds of times up until then. But if you find that one winning thing, it counteracts all of the other stuff. No one's talking about Thomas Edison's 10,000 failures. No one's talking about Michael Jordan's 9,000 missed shots, or the 26 times that he's failed to make the winning shot for the game, right? They're talking about his excellence in the other stuff, right? Those successes that you get through trying and failing are what makes you, right? It's what makes you all the money you want. It gives you the reputation that it wants. It gives you the success that you want, right? It's about failure and be prepared to fail, and understanding that failing is not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on how you are as a human. It's not a reflection of who you are as a person, right? The more you fail, the more likely you are to succeed, period. Or in the UK, we call it a full stop. We call period something actually quite different. I digress, I'm not going to go into that. So if you aren't prepared to fail, you're setting yourself up to lose. Okay, and I'll go through this in my book, right? I go through how we've set up tests. I advise you to set up tests, to split tests on your site, to split tests on your ads, to try out different things, to see what works, to have discretionary funds, to do all this kind of stuff, right? It's a 50-chapter monster book, okay? It is a massive book, and we just over the last couple of days as well, we just collected yet another case study from one of our softwares, right? From two brothers that are doing 100 million a year. They're using one of our softwares, Trust Ads, to do that. And the things they were talking about, it echoes the statements in the book, which is so great, right? To just to hear, right, and to have it confirmed time and time again that the teachings of the book, the teachings of these videos, all right, they are on the nail. Okay, everything else is noise. So I'm excited to just talk about failure. And if you're failing, you're doing it right, right? And if you're failing, all power to you, because the alternative is just, coasting, not trying anything, right? If you're failing, and if you're prepared to fail, and if you're prepared to pick yourself up and keep going, that's what makes you a successful entrepreneur, okay? So this is like a motivational rah-rah speech based on fact, based on real stuff, okay? So I've got my hat on backwards, I mean business, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.